Alrighty. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Kristin. This is my booktube, and in today's video we are going to be talking about my July TBR. I'm going to be continuing with the theme of the last couple TBR videos that I've done, where I have a few specific titles and then everything else is just kind of vibe based, just because I really don't like it when I put specific titles on a TBR video like this and then I don't actually read them in the month that I'm intending to. So I'm trying to be better about that by not really setting out as many specific titles, but rather just some general genres or themes that I'm feeling like reading. And that way I can keep myself happy as a mood reader and not tease books to you all that I don't actually end up reading. So before recording this video, I did look into what books I read in June, and I did notice that I had a lot of thrillers and mysteries, pretty much. Actually, no, exclusively thrillers and mysteries so far in the month of June. There is one more day left in this month, but I don't think I'm going to do anything to drastically change that. So we're just gonna say that I read a lot of thrillers and mysteries in June, and I feel like I kind of want to switch that up in July. It is getting hotter in Texas. We have had a couple 100-degree days in a row this past week, and we aren't even fully into the summer yet. And I feel like I kind of want to lean into that a little bit and read books that go with the season. So yeah, I feel like that's about all the intro that we need, and we can go ahead and hop into the bulk of this video and talk about the themes and specific books that I want to read in July. So first things first, it looks like I'm going to have two books to roll over into the month of July, and those two books are going to be Murder Your Employer by Rupert Holmes of Pina Colada song fame and Killer Cult. And these are two crime/thriller books that I did start in June, but I've been very busy recently, so I just haven't had a chance to finish them. I am going to try to get as close to finishing these books as I can before June is officially over. I have one day left, so we'll see how that goes. But I am anticipating that I'm going to not be able to finish either of them and roll both of them over into July instead. So I'm just going to preemptively add them to my July TBR because I don't think I'm going to be finishing them in the next 24 hours. So the first specific title on my July TBR is going to be The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. So The House in the Cerulean Sea is the July pick for my work book clubs. I don't know a ton just because I haven't started it yet. I plan to start it either today or tomorrow, so I really don't know much about it at all, but from what I do know, just from talking to other people and reading a bit of the synopsis, it kind of reminds me of, oh, what was that book that was turned into a movie? Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, something like that. It reminds me of that book/movie a little bit. I don't know how factual that is. That's just the kind of vibes it gave me right off the bat, and I am excited to read it. I have the audiobook loaned out from my library, so I gotta get on finishing that as soon as possible before the loan time expires. So this book, from what I know, takes place on a magical island, and there is a social worker that is in charge of caring for a group of young magical people. And that's pretty much all I know. I've heard really good things about this book. People at my work book club have already been talking about it, and our meeting isn't until mid-July, I believe. So it seems like this is a book that most people that I know that have read it have really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to getting to read it and then talk about it in my work book club. And I will have to get this done at the beginning of July because I did borrow it from my library and it is due back like the 2nd of July. So we're gonna have a quick turnaround time for this book as well as the next book, because we gotta get those books back to the library so that other people can start reading them as well. So that is the first book on my July TBR, and the next specific title on my July TBR is The Women by Kristin Hannah. So this is a book that I actually wanted to read back in March for Women's History Month, and it had a 6-month-long wait or something ridiculous like that at my local library, and it just came available like last week. So it looks like I'm reading it in July. Very similar to The House in the Cerulean Sea. This is another one that I'm borrowing from my library, so I do have a time constraint on it, and I do have to also finish it by early July. So these 2 books should be done pretty early in the month, leaving me the rest of July to read whatever else I feel like reading. So The Women is a historical fiction, and it centers around the Vietnam War, but specifically the women involved in the Vietnam War. And that is pretty much all that I know about it. I have read one other Kristin Hannah book, and it was The Nightingale. And that one is about World War II France, and I just absolutely loved that book. It was an emotional roller coaster. It was very intriguing, and I think Kristin Hannah does a really good job with historical fictions, or at least from that one I read, it seems like she does a good job with historical fiction. So I think it'll be really interesting to read another book of hers about this big historical event and have it focus on the women, as the title would suggest. So yeah, those first 2 books I should get through pretty quickly because I do have deadlines on them. So once I finish those and they are back to the library, it is pretty much going to be vibe-based reading only, I would say. Without further ado, we are going to move into the mood reader portion of this TBR video. So as I've mentioned before, I am a mood reader where I get really into certain genres, or I get the hankering for reading romances or something like that, and I don't particularly have specific books in mind when I'm in moods like that. And I've picked out a couple different moods, vibes, genres that I do want to work into my July TBR a bit more. I did go back and look at the books that I read in June, and it was exclusively thrillers and mysteries, so I do want to break that up a little bit just so I don't get tired of the genre or burnt out, hit a reading slump, anything like that. I just want to make sure that I'm keeping the books that I'm reading fresh and interesting for me so that I don't lose interest. So since June was really thriller / mystery heavy, and we are fully in summer now, I can't speak for anywhere else other than Dallas, but it has been so hot in Dallas the last few days. We have had several triple-digit days. So the vibes that I'm feeling for July are summer, pool, romance, happiness, that kind of thing. So the first genre that I want to read some more of in July is the summer romance kind of books. I'm thinking like People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, maybe some Christina Lauren books. I haven't read any of those in a while. Things like that that are lighthearted, easy to read, and will hopefully give me a little bit of serotonin, because fun fact about me, I absolutely hate summertime. I don't like the heat. I know, I live in a very hot city and I hate summertime. It doesn't make sense. So most of the time when summer in Dallas hits, I am just so cranky, so miserable, and just really not enjoying life. So I'm trying to combat that by slipping in some more uplifting and happy summer romances that will hopefully make me not hate summer as much. I don't know. We'll see if that plan works. I'm basically trying to gaslight myself into thinking that summer isn't that bad. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not entirely sure if gaslighting myself is going to work, but I'm desperate. So at this point, I will try anything to make summer a little more bearable. And then even though I just said I read a lot of thrillers and mysteries in the month of June and I want to change it up, that doesn't mean that I am completely striking thrillers and mysteries from my TBR this month. Absolutely not. I still want to read them. I still have some on my mind that I want to get around to. I just want to break them up a little bit, you know? So yeah, in addition to the more summery, fun, lighthearted reads that I want to get to in July, I do still want to read some interesting thrillers, maybe slip in some more Agatha Christie books. I think the next book on my Agatha Christie list is Dumb Witness and then Sad Cypress. So I can keep going with that if I want some shorter, more fun, whodunit type mysteries. And then I can also do some more thrillers if I feel like being creeped out. But yeah, so that is pretty much it for my July TBR. I feel like I was a little over the place, so I'll give a little brief summary here. I have two specific titles on my July TBR. That is The House in the Cerulean Sea and The Women by Kristin Hannah. And then apart from that, I really want to read some more summery romances to try to gaslight myself into liking summertime. And of course, I still want to read some thrillers, some mysteries, whatever tickles my fancy in the moment. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. I know it's probably going to be shorter than some of my normal videos. I don't know what's up with me today. I'm having trouble speaking. Like, I've been tripping over my words and stuff a lot today. I feel like my hair looks weird. My makeup went weird today. I don't know. I feel like I'm just a little off today. So we're going to end it here before I mess up even more and make more work for myself in editing. But yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and leave a like down below. Let me know. You should also subscribe while you're down there because I put out new videos every single weekend. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Yeah.